Hello everyone and welcome to the online video series on object-oriented programming methods. So for topic for today is constructors and destructors. So these are our lecture objectives. What is constructor? How constructors are different from a normal member function? The different types of constructors and then destructors. So first of all, what is a constructor? So a constructor is a special member function of a class and it is used to initialize the objects of its class. So as you know that the name of this is constructor, means it is something to do with constructing the values. So what it does, it constructs the values or initializes the objects of its class. It is treated as a special member function because its name is the same as class name. Means if you're having a class student, so its constructor will also have the same name, that is students. That is its speciality. So these constructors get invoked or called whenever an object of its associated class is created. It is named as constructor because it constructs the value of data member of a class. Initial values can be passed as an argument to the constructor function when the object is declared. Okay, so this is about the constructor. Let us understand the few characteristics of a constructor. Now it is mandatory to declare the constructor in public section only. They do not have return type, not even a void. So that's why this is different from your normal member function. They get automatically invoked or called when the objects are created, right? So there is no need to call the constructor, right? In case of your normal member functions, you need to call it with using the object name. That is, let's say s.getData, s.showData, and so on. But these constructors will be automatically called. They cannot be inherited, though derived class can call the base class constructor. You will understand this when we will see inheritance. Okay, so like other functions, they can have default arguments. You cannot refer to their addresses, and constructors cannot be virtual. So these are some of the characteristics of the constructor. Now mainly there are three types of constructors: default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. So a default constructor which has no argument is known as default constructor. Okay. So it is invoked at the time of creating object. Second type of constructor is parameterized constructor. So a constructor which has parameters or arguments is called as parameterized constructor. It is used to provide different values to distinct objects. Third is copy constructor. So it is used to copy data of one object to another. So let us understand this, the three types of constructors using a program. So first of all, we will see a program related to default constructor. So we have included the required header files iostream.h and con.io.h. We have declared a class called as wall. So since this language is case sensitive, you have to see the spelling as well as the capital or small letters are used, right? So class wall is created. In private section, length is created, okay, wall length. In public section, the constructor is created. This is the syntax for default constructor. You can see there is no value inside this round brackets, and hence it is called as default constructor. You can see there is no return type as well, like void or int, right? So this is not there. So We have given the same name as the class name, wall. Okay. Now inside the wall you have assigned the value of length is equals to 5.5. That is basically initializing the private variables. And then you are displaying this, creating a wall. Length is equals to this length. Okay. Now this class is closed over here. Now in void main, you have declared an object w1 of class wall. Okay. So as soon as the object is created, it will automatically call these constructor. Okay. And these three lines will be executed, or these three program statements will be executed. And as an output, you will get creating a wall, length is equals to 5.5. Okay. And then finally it will done get ch. So in this way the default constructor works. So basically whenever you have to give some specific values, like you have to initialize the counters or you have to assign some specific length, okay, so in that case you will use default constructor. The second type of constructor is parameterized constructor. So as name suggests, your constructor will have some parameters in it. So we will take the same example. We have included the required header files. Then class wall is declared. And in private section, we have two variables, length and height. In public section, we have declared a constructor, parameterized constructor. So you can see there are two arguments in this, or two parameters are passed, right? So now whichever is passed from the main function, this L will be assigned to the length and H will be assigned to height. And finally, the area of the wall will be displayed. That is nothing but length into height. In void main, we have created two objects. One is, let's say, wall W1, 10.5 and 8.6 is passed from here. So since two arguments are passed, it will call this constructor, and this 10.5 will be assigned to L and 8.6 will be assigned to H. Okay, and similarly this length will become 10.5 and this height will become 8.6, and multiplication of this is you will get over here, that is area of wall is 90.3. Similarly, secondly, you are again passing two arguments, and hence again the same constructor is called. So in the second case you are getting 53.55. So suppose if there are three arguments, so you can have multiple constructors, right? Multiple parameterized constructors. So you may have, suppose, volume, okay, or cube. So you may pass length, width and height, right? And you may write something here, L into W into H. So if you pass, suppose, three arguments, suppose 1, 2, 3. So in that case, it will call this constructor. So depending on the number of arguments, it will call its corresponding parameterized constructor. Okay. So in this way, this parameterized constructor works. The third type of constructor is copy constructor. As name indicates, it is used to copy something into something. Okay. So we will take again one same example. Class wall, float length and height is created. Then parameterized constructor is declared and defined. Now this is the body of copy constructor. Now whenever you are copying any object into something, you need its address. So that's why in this case the address of the object is collected. Here directly the value is collected, right? But in case of copy constructor, you need to collect the address. And the way to collect addresses, you have to add this ampersand. Okay. So this is the copy constructor. So length is equals to now obj dot length. Okay. So there is one object. Now inside this obj, you have length and height. Now to access the length and height inside this obj, you need to use dot operator. It is just like a key. Okay. So whatever the content of this object dot length, it will be assigned to length, and the content of obj dot height will be assigned to height. And finally, the area of the wall will be displayed. Okay. Now going to this void main function. Whenever this is executed, your normal parameterized constructor will be called, right? But as soon as you do something like this, wall w2 is equal to w1, means you want to copy the contents of this w1 object into w2. Okay. Now what will happen? This object of the address of this object will be sent over here, and this constructor will be called. Okay. Whenever this command will get executed, your copy constructor will be called automatically. Okay. And in the output, you will get area of the wall 90.3, which was from the parameterized constructor. Then second area of wall is 90.3, which is from copy constructor. Okay. So whenever you want to copy one object into number of objects, you can use this type of constructor. So this all about the three different types of constructor to initialize the objects of its class. Now, whenever you are declaring or using constructors, you must use destructor as well. So what is destructor? What is destructor? So as name implies, destructors are used to destroy the objects that have been created by the constructor within the C++ program. So destructor names are the same as the class name. Okay, destructor's name is same as the class name, but they are preceded by the tilde operator. You can see this similarity sign. It is okay like this. So it is a good practice to declare a destructor after the end of using constructor. Okay. Here is the basic declaration procedure. So you have to, again the class name, you have to give this operator, tilde operator, and there will be no need to write inside this. Okay. So in this way you can create the destructor. So in the previous example, how you will declare this destructor? So this operator and then wall. Okay. So in this way you can destruct the object created by destructor. Again, it is automatic. Okay, it will be called automatic. You need not to call it. At the end of the program, this will be automatically called. So the destructor neither takes an argument nor it returns the value, and compiler implicitly invokes upon the exit from the program for cleaning up storage that is no longer accessible. Okay, so it is again automatic like constructor. So I hope you have understood the constructor and destructor. So thank you for watching this video. Have a good day and happy learning.